Hi, I'm Linda Kaun. I guide women creative entrepreneurs, artists, healers, coaches, messengers, and visionaries who are confident and successful on the outside, but privately they feel disappointed. They feel like they never realized their full potential. They know they have more to give. There's this deep inner calling, and yet they're still playing small, and they do not know why. I help them reconnect with their missing half, their sacred masculine, which they've unwittingly abandoned. They either focused on their feminine strength for so long they didn't realize the cost of cutting off their divine masculine energy, or they tried to fit into the ego-driven male model that pretty much runs the world and got a bit lost along the way. They've been trying to run a race on one leg. But integrating the sacred masculine with the sacred feminine gives them two solid legs to stand on to create a thriving business and become the powerful leaders they know they came here to be. Whether that's a leader of themselves as a solopreneur or leading thousands, it doesn't matter. So I'd like to welcome you to the first of this continuing series, exploring not only this idea of the sacred masculine, but at a deeper level, it's looking at power. How can we reveal, heal, and transform our internal blocks that prevent us from stepping into our power? So today we're going to talk about this sacred masculine. What is it? Who is he? How is he connected to you and your leadership role for your business? Well, the sacred masculine is the highest expression of the male qualities and characteristics that make up his energy. They transcend the defensive, ego-driven male aspects that have run the world for thousands of years. Every single person on the planet, men, women, children, animals, trees, birds, the ocean, rocks, we have all been wounded in some way through this current patriarchal system. And maybe you don't like that word, it bugs you, but to me it has a meaning by speaking to the values and the beliefs around it. And so, what are those? What does that mean? Well, first of all, the absolute foundation is fear and scarcity. This is the basis on which we're told everything is actually existing in. Fear and scarcity, and separation, cut off from this sense of source or unity, which is what we're moving into now. And logic and reason are the only valid ways of knowing. Man, is seen as the pinnacle of evolution, the top right next to the angels, and then God. And all of nature, including women, are viewed as other to serve his needs and desires, whether that's ripping up the planet of Mother Earth, or it's there for him in this role as the male to dominate. Okay. Science and technology are seen as the best way to solve our global problems. And our juicy inner drives and feelings and emotions, oh, they're very dangerous. This is definitely something to be restrained rather than expressed. Violence, on the other hand, is not only accepted, it's often shown as the only way to solve conflicts. And if you think I'm, blowing this out of proportion or doesn't make sense to you, I invite you to turn on the news, right? You can watch this being played out day after day after day. So as women, and certainly many men too, began to question this scenario, it seemed like the problem were these so-called male values. But what we didn't really realize, that these were only the out of balance, ego-driven, distorted masculine that was cut off from the feminine, cut off from the source. That's what's been running the show. But we wanted to distance ourselves from that. And so we turned away from the masculine and began to embrace our feminine values, exploring our own female power. And still we didn't see that by just flipping that around, we were kind of doing the same thing in reverse. But because we ourselves as women had been cut off from valuing our own female natures, this time of the last 30, 40 years of exploring our feminine power was a crucial, crucial first step in finding our wholeness, absolutely. But now, I believe we are ready for the next level of integration. And welcoming this sacred masculine side of us again into our psyches is where we can begin. Okay, so what are some of these qualities of this sacred masculine energy, and how do they connect to your business? Well, in his essence, this sacred masculine acts as both a bridge, he creates a bridge between your creative feminine ideas, and he's the one who carries them across the bridge out to the world. So he's a bringer and a bridge. He forms this beautiful container to hold your creations so they can be manifested. I like thinking of him like a riverbed. He's forming this channel for the river to flow through. And without it, the water of creativity can indeed be a destructive flood sometimes. So his energy is vital for you to actually move your projects, your programs, your gifts out to those who need them. And when you're not in touch with him, these ideas can spin and spin and spin around and around in your mind, taking up all kinds of room on your computer, but you just don't get them to market. He also sets realistic boundaries for yourself in your life and your business. Boundaries, not a barrier. It's like knowing where to say no, knowing when to say yes. He helps you stay focused and take decisive actions to move forward with clarity and efficiency. He's confident without arrogance. And as opposed to the out of balance, ego-driven male in the world that we see so much, who's encased in armor, he's not wearing any armor. And he can show us how to allow our vulnerability to guide us. His job is to support, protect, and serve your female creativity and leadership. That's what he's here to do. To support, protect, and serve your female creativity and leadership. And you can learn to call on his energy anytime to stop feeling overwhelmed and overworked. Running off to another spa day is not necessarily going to help, but tapping into his energy is amazing to cut through the garbage. And finally, a key aspect I wanted to talk about is his ability to protect you from your own inner patriarch. Now, we all have that, both men and women. We have an inner patriarch and a matriarch as well. This is the part of you who has very, very clear ideas about who you are supposed to be as a woman. And we'll be talking about this much more in the future. So in this episode, we talked about embracing your sacred masculine as your next level of integrating both your feminine with your masculine side, so you stand in wholeness. With this integrated whole, you can move your products and services out to those who need them. They're waiting for you. And you can step confidently into your leadership role. Now, obviously, we have many more aspects to explore around this issue of power, how to use it and not abuse it. And I hope you'll come back next week where we'll go further into female leadership and recognizing how we can call on this sacred masculine. I'll share more about how I got a tremendous wake-up call around the sacred masculine in my life, even after 40 years of being so involved with the women's movement. It was a shock. And we'll see how it can help you come out of hiding to be bold and courageous. So until then, please, I invite you to share this with your tribe. Add a comment, hit the like button below, and be sure to like my page too. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.